All right. So I guess now you understand what the plan was.
Absolutely. At Colts Law, we talk Indianapolis Colts football.
We're going to stick to what we know, fundamentals and technique, 1% better every day.
What's going on, Colts Nation? I'm Lawrence Owen. With me, as usual, is Colts Loyalist. And today, we are going to break down, not 100%, but just talk about the game upcoming. Sorry for the delay. I was on a radio. I had a radio spot. Finally got that uploaded. Got permission to upload it as long as I gave, credit where credit was due, to the radio station and the show and everything. Got that up, so go check that out. Uploaded it right before we went live. That's why I was a hair minute late. I apologize, but I want to shout out everyone that's in the stream right now, chilling. Chaz A, obviously Loyalist is in there. Truett is in here. Marquis Beverly, what's up? Appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much. Just wanted to drop a little tidbit. Discord. We have a blast in Discord. You know this. I know this. We all know this. So go check that out. The Discord, the link to my Discord is right there. You can join it and, lots of stuff to talk about. And then, of course, on game days, we have some interesting things going on there. You might not want to miss it. No, I am not running for governor there, Truett. What's up, Brock Badger? Hoodrick Rose, what's up? Appreciate each and every one of you. Now, I got some interesting stuff to talk about. I'm sure you do as well, Loyalists. But first and foremost, before we go any further to that, shout out to everyone who has dropped money in the tip jar to help Loyalists get that laptop. We're just waiting on the money to come down into my account so I can make the purchase and then get it all off to Loyalists. He should have it sometime, hopefully, within the next couple weeks. That way he'll be able to make his own content as well. He don't have to be sitting here joined with me. So that'd be really awesome. Thank you, each and every one of you that has donated. As you can see, I've got another tip jar here on the screen as well for other stuff. Colts, Buccaneers, Tom Brady, Carson Wentz, Darius Leonard, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Jonathan Taylor, Michael Pittman Jr., DeForest Buckner. Wow, what a game coming up. It is the number one running back in the NFL versus the number one run defense in the NFL. Loyalist, what are you expecting this Sunday?
Well, I do love the way that when you start having the better teams and stuff and you have strength on strength. So I'm very excited to see that. Nervously excited, you know what I mean? Because there again, we all know with that offensive line, is Q going to be strong enough and healthy enough? Is he even going to be in? There's that question mark. But I do like Chris Reed and what he gives us. But still up against this defensive front, man, I'd like to have as many horses ready, for this game as possible. So get better, Q. Hope you're feeling better, my guy.
Absolutely.
But, I'm excited for the run game, but I'm also excited because I feel like this is a prime opportunity for Carson Wentz to show that efficient play style that we've been seeing for the better portion of the year and stuff. But it's still remarkable how many people still think that, Carson's not, how should we put it nicely, not playing up to their expectations, I guess you'd say.
Yeah, the funny thing is I got on that radio spot and they were sitting there. They were literally expecting me to trash Carson Wentz because of the weird play that happened at the end of the Texans game or Titans game a couple weeks ago. And I was like, that was more of an anomaly than anything. He's had a couple of those this season. But for the most part, he's been playing within himself, right? Playing within his abilities. Only got 3 interceptions this season as opposed to 18 touchdowns. But really, it is the run game that is going to be prominent front and forward in this game. And in the radio spot, they asked me, hey, what do you expect? Are you expecting, them to really push Jonathan Taylor to run the football against this defense that has just been so good against the run the last few years, and I had to bring it up. You know, I did my research. I did my research. You know me, everybody, including Derek Larger, who's in the chat. What's up, Derek? All three of Tampa Bay Buccaneers losses this year came to teams who stuck with the run, whether they were doing well with it or not. All three losses was to teams who ran the ball 24 or more times in the game against the Buccaneers. Washington did it. New Orleans did it. And who was the third team? I can't remember off the top of my head, but all three of them did. You know, the only outlier is the Chicago Bears, who ran it 24 or more times. But let's come on. The Chicago Bears right now are a dumpster fire. And I would not base any game plan off anything that the Chicago Bears are doing right now. I'm just saying, you know, if you're a Bears fan in here, I'm sorry, but it is what it is, you know.
If they're in here, they're like, man, I was trying to get away from this, and it's still here.
Right. Oh, my goodness. Brock says, should be a good game. Hope to beat Brady. We need sack fumbles in a big way. Nothing like, I mean, come on. Talking about sack fumbles, all right? Talking about the sack fumbles, this game, are dropping in the Ring of Honor, Robert freaking Mathis, QB hater, the guy who was known, the guy who absolutely hates Tom Brady. It's poetic justice to drop him in the Ring of Honor against Tom Brady. And hopefully that's going to spark a little bit of that pass rush, you know. Hopefully we'll see some Kwity Paye and some Dio Dangbo and some DeForest Buckner and guys like that to get in there and get some pressure on them. What do you think?
I agree, because I've been speaking it into actuality as much as I can, you know, today and stuff, because I started digging, and this is no slight. I mean, Tampa Bay, I mean, you watch them on video and they look every bit as good as, you know, I mean, what you mentally imagine and stuff. But there are areas, you know, I mean, there is places in the second level where I feel like our offensive line can get to that area that 200 yards, no. You know what I mean? But if he gets, you know, if he can get 20, 25, 30 carries, you know, and get a buck and a quarter, yes, I do think that he can hang 100 on this defense. I mean, but there again, you know, I really have a lot of that weighing on what we saw last week and just how thoroughly dominated. Buffalo didn't have their best game, but they weren't, you know, they weren't the bottom of the league defense. I mean, this was a defense that was a good test run, I guess you might say, for this defense that we're showing up, because I do think that Tampa Bay is a little higher overall defense than Buffalo is. You know, on field, not statistically, not because of Buffalo and who they play, but I just mean it's quality defense. I like what Tampa Bay brings.
Tampa's got a number one run defense. Buffalo was number 3 when we went against them, but Buffalo really hasn't faced a lot of good running backs. Tampa has. Exactly. But here's the thing, okay? And this is why I say attempts matter. Tampa Bay is the number 1 team in the NFL at stacking. They've stacked the box more on a percentage basis than any other team in the NFL. Jonathan Taylor, if you get him carries, ends up having more yards per carry on average against stacked boxes than anyone else in the NFL. So that's got to mean something. That means, Reich, don't give up on the run. If you're only getting 2.5, 3.5 yards a carry, keep pushing the run, because at some point, Jonathan Taylor's going to get past that initial stacked box, and then he's gone. You're going to expect 1 or 2 big runs if you just keep feeding Jonathan Taylor the ball. So
that's right. JT looks at these stacked boxes. He doesn't look at this as, oh, these are more people to stop me. He looks at this as, these are more people to wear out early in the game, so that by the time that fourth quarter hits and stuff, you know, those 2.5, 3 yard runs are now becoming 5, 6 yard. What was that? 28 touchdown. Yeah, baby. That's what JT's gonna, you know, I mean, just bang him, you know, body punch this game. You know what I mean? And like you said, Carson, make sure you know, give him his opportunities to give them something to think about. But you know what, man, I do believe this running game has a chance against these guys.
Yep, I want to shout out Enjoy Sack Lunch. They are the new subscriber to this channel. They subscribed before I ever even went live. Also want to shout out Trust No One. He's in here. He says, Colt Squad going to get another dub on Sunday. Stack them dubs up. I'll tell you what, if Indy finds a way to walk out of their field and sending Tampa Bay home with a big fat L right there on their forehead, then that means that the Indianapolis Colts will get even more respect from the NFL and everyone else, because a lot of people are looking at Buffalo going, well, they're just not as good as what, they look like on paper and what we thought they were going to be. You beat two teams like that back to back, that'll drop some respect on you. That'll drop some major and possibly help us. I know it's not a conference game or a divisional game, but it's another W, and the teams in front of us in that wild card spot are tied with us. So if we get a W and they get a loss, we have a good shot at sneaking into that wild card at week 12. Week 12, after starting 0-3. And that would mean that if we do win, that'll be 7 of the last 9 that we've won. Holy crap, that'd be 5 of the last 6. That's an amazing situation. So yeah, absolutely, man. I really hope that the Colts come out of this with a W, but at the same time, they got to realize, that this is going to be the toughest matchup that they've had all year.
Yeah,
straight up toughest, easily.
You know what? Got that picture over there, man? Because there's somebody I'd like to mention. You know what I mean? I think he might have something to say about the outcome of this game.
Oh, ow, shoulder. Booyah.
There you go. I'll tell you right now, I want to see him eat. You know what I mean? I just want to sit there and watch him because, I want to sit there and introduce Leonard Fournette to why he needed to stay in Jacksonville with DeForest this weekend.
Yo, Tom Brady, this is DeForest Buckner. I want you to know right up the front. You think you was scared of Robert Mathis? Wait till you see me coming up the middle of the offensive line. I'm going to get you, wrap you up, and eat you like a sandwich on Sunday. Okay.
He's like, 98, I got one more. Now what are you going to do?
Guys, shout out to the Backroom Collection. They are the guys who sent me that. You can go check them out. They are great at canvas stuff. They also have other types of memorabilia. Any sport that you're interested in, whether it's football, baseball, basketball, doesn't matter. Plus they have, you know what? Here, let's just let this talk for me. This channel is proudly sponsored by the Backroom Collection. They do beautiful sports canvas art. Many Indianapolis Colts sign pieces will be available beginning in November. Just use your discount code CL10 to purchase the pieces you want to spice up your living area. That's CL10. Please take a moment and smash that like button. Hit subscribe if you're not subscribed. Tag that notification bell so that you are notified next time we go live or upload a video. And, like I said, if you want to get in a super chat or, tip me up a little bit, me and Loyalist appreciate every bit of help and support that you give us. There's the link in the description right here below. And, of course, there's Newsbreak. I upload Newsbreak-specific content on almost a daily basis, man. Go check that out. And a little inside information, every time you use the link in the description to download the free Newsbreak app and give us a follow, you put money in our pockets. So it's a free and easy way of supporting our channel. This video is sponsored by Newsbreak. Newsbreak is an app. Just use the link in the description of this video to download it. Then search a city, state, or someone specific, like myself, Colts Law. Then make sure to follow them so you'll get all the news fresh as it comes out. Look at that, back when I had hair. What? Oh my goodness. You can tell I recorded that some time ago. Sade Loaning.
Real quick, I'd just like to mention, guys, I think it's till the end of November. If you use the Backroom Collection, the code is
CL10.
no, the 2 for, remember they're doing the Black Friday till the end of November. It's like if you get 2 pieces, I think it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you get 20% off instead of 10%.
Yeah. You still use my CL10.
It is the CL. Okay. Gotcha. That's all right.
Sade Loading in the chat. Appreciate you being here. The Bucks have the 26th run offense in the league and the 17th pass defense. I feel like the Bills are better than them. Interesting. You know what? For those of us who were sitting in my Discord, that's right, I have a Discord, and we were sitting there and we were talking about the Monday Night Football game. You're going to want to check that out, by the way. If you're watching this, please go use the link in the chat right now to join the Discord that I have going. We sat there and discussed this, and as bad as the Giants looked, I didn't think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers looked all that good either. They gave them opportunity upon opportunity upon opportunity to come back in this game. And I feel like if they give the Colts defense this kind of opportunity, the way the offense for the Buccaneers, they're going to walk away with more than 4 turnovers like they did against Buffalo. I seriously, there was so many tip balls and drop passes and all that. Oh my goodness. I almost feel like this is a game where the Indianapolis Colts could legitimately walk out with another big-time win. And but, you know, I mean, they got to be on top of their game, and the Bucks need to play a game like they did on Monday, and I don't know if that'll happen, so we'll see.
Yeah, and honestly, big things are going, for me, are going to be like, you know, can our defense disrupt Tom Brady in his time? Because he's not wanting to sit there and take the hits and stuff, you know what I mean? And also, let's not forget that it's looking like Vita Vea is going to be more than likely available this coming week against the Colts, and he wasn't there against the Giants, which is a massive, massive man there.
Yeah, he's good against the run, and the Giants gave up on the run. Saquon Barkley had 6 carries. 6. I mean, come on, you can't do that. Frank Reich, don't think about that. Go out there and like I spoke earlier, their 3 losses were the teams who did not give up on the run, even though it wasn't being effective. Speed Maverick Garage says, I made it! JT is the talk of the MVP race. Yup. And he's the number 1 voted Pro Bowler so far this year right now over everyone else in the entire NFL. That's what happens when you break records, I guess, you know, in the NFL. So, and one more 100-yard scrimmage game, and he'll own a record all by himself. 100-yard scrimmage and a touchdown. That's all he needs. One more game, and there will be no one else that has done it 9 games in a row.
Yeah, and the thing is he's not just done it; he's done it in style. You know, what I mean, it's not been like 103. I mean, it's been $180, $165. I was like, yeah, there you go. Yeah, like I said, I feel like this game has. I mean, honestly, it just has the earmarks to really, really just put this season, you know, main front and center if the Colts take advantage. I mean, you got all these storylines. You got Hard Knocks involved. I mean, there is a lot to be excited about right now. And the thing is, you know, I remember 3, and we were like, you know, we were trying to be positive. We were trying to dig for that positivity. And now, like I told my wife, I'm like, man, I can talk about this and feel confident and good. And I mean, this team is really starting to click at the right time, and that's just exceptional. I mean, did you see the injury report today?
Yeah.
For the practice?
Yeah, three limited, and then of course, you know, Quentin Nelson.
Yeah, which is fun. I mean, hey, get your rest, my guy. Get that old leg up and running. Maybe not look so Stay Puft Marshmallowy like.
Right. Gotcha. Understand. Here's the thing. Okay, so when the Colts started out 0-3, I was more positive than probably even Loyalist was, because I was looking at these losses, going, we were in these games against really good freaking teams, right? We were in the game against a prime Russell Wilson, not the Russell Wilson with a busted thumb. We were in the game against the Rams. We were in the game, against the Titans. And then the Ravens game, as we go on, and we lost that game in overtime. We lost the game to the Titans in overtime. Those suck. All those games sucked, losing them. But at the same time, you look at them and go, we were this close to winning that game against really good teams. All we got to do is just find a way not to shoot ourselves in the foot, and they're starting to not do that.
Yeah, and for me, it wasn't even as much about the things you're talking about. It was just the reason I used the game 3 was because, do you remember what that was like? I mean, Carson Wentz was barely able to walk. That offensive performance after that 10, it was dark times. It was dark times, I'm telling you. And it's amazing how, now 7-8 weeks later, we're sitting here and we're like, hey, which I never felt like we were out of the playoff race or anything. I did sort of think that the divisional was, out of the question, but now it's starting to look like that. Window, I'm feeling the breeze coming in from it now. It's starting to. So that opportunity hasn't even closed, and that's just remarkable. Like I said, in this team, I really do believe with this coach. Frank Reich knows a thing or two about coming from behind. Doing rename his middle name like Phoenix or something. Rise from the ashes type thing. He really gets. They never get to the ashes, but they get really close to the flames.
Right.
And he always manages, to get these guys going, and hats off to the team. They love that stuff, I guess. And like I remember saying there going, well, can you imagine the story that we'll have to tell? Here we go, guys. Is it going to be a good story or is it going to be a great story? That's what I want to know.
Yep. John Davidson here says, I didn't know they were the best run defense. Yeah, they give up less than 80 yards a game rushing. Okay, but the Colts get like 147 yards a game rushing. They're fourth in the NFL as a team rushing the football. And two teams ahead of them are teams with running quarterbacks, like, the Ravens. I think the Eagles are ahead of them too, and that's Jalen Hurts. So, you take we don't have a run-first quarterback. We have a run-first team. Straight up team, with Jonathan Taylor, Naheem Hines, and them. So, but what's weird is I don't think that, and this is honest to goodness truth, I'm thinking play action might come into more effect than the RPO going into this game this time. Used a lot of RPO the last few weeks and went away from the play action. I think this is the game where you go back to that RPO, because I don't know if Tampa Bay's defense will be ready for it, and that would help. It would help dramatically in getting the open guys downfield, because Tampa Bay's secondary is physical. They are a man secondary. They like getting up in the face of people, and let them get up in the face of Zach Pascal and Michael Pittman and see what happens. Okay? Yeah. Well, let's see them do that. I think going back to the play action would help a lot in this game.
And I bet Wham Master Jack Doyle and Mo Alley Cox would love to hear that, because that means that they're not constantly not catching the rock a little bit and getting some of those reception love, because it seems like these guys. I'm telling you right now, I may be offline with this because I'm watching closer this year than I have in years past, but to me, I think Jack Doyle's putting together arguably one of his best seasons. His blocking has just been. I know Jonathan Taylor's amazing. I know the offense, but his blocking has just been exceptional. And if you ever look at the majority of JT's bigger runs and stuff, one of the first setup blocks is Doyle. Just taking somebody out or two people out. I bet these guys are probably about ready for a game to where they just go, hey, let them hit me for a minute and catch a pass or two.
Yeah, it's not just Jack Doyle. I think the entire team is blocking well, right? Mm-hmm. Like you said, Mo Alley Cox, Pascal, Pittman, all these guys out here. Even Doolin is out there blocking his butt off, and you're going to need that against teams like this. And especially those outside guys, blocking the wide receivers and stuff, so that if Tampa Bay is able to clog the middle with Vita Vea and all them and Ndamukong Suh, those are two big dudes,
Sir.
Maybe JT could use that vision and that speed, cut outside, and use those outside blocks to break off a big one. That's a good possibility, and this is going to be a big test, not just for the offensive line, but for the entire team as a blocking unit.
Yeah, and I think that MPJ has a good chance to sit there and sort of creep behind that first layer and stuff, and really put some stress on that secondary, in specific points and stuff, because their pass defense just doesn't seem to be quite as strong as it was last year. At least went on last year before, into the Super Bowl and stuff. That secondary was playing really, a lot better than what I've seen so far this year.
So the funny thing is Tampa Bay is built to win. Right? You have the number one run defense in the NFL, which generally forces teams to be one-dimensional. Right? And they have the number one scoring offense in the NFL. Number one per game. They've only played 10 games, whereas the Cardinals and the Colts have played 11. Tampa, per game basis, is averaging over 30 points a game. And they're like, I think they're the only team in the NFL that's doing so, or they're, there's only two maybe. But either way, they force teams to go to the pass for a reason. So it's even more of a big, emphasis to make sure you're running, even when it's not being effective. And Wentz is going to have to pull off some of these, third and long situations occasionally. There are going to be times when, the run gets stuffed and you're going to see second and third and long, and Wentz is going to have to be able to get those conversions and not force it, though.
Exactly. Let's see Carson Wentz of last week, which I know there wasn't a lot, but that 3rd and 10, making good decisions, and then, and if you get the first down, awesome, you're not going to win all those battles, but that's why Coach Reich, in the right situations, goes for it on 4th down. You've got that to fall back on. Like you said, always live to fight, the next play.
Absolutely. Wentz sees it in here and says, we're probably going to have to pass block well this game, and Wentz is going to have a good game. You're going to need a good game all the way around against a team like, the Bucs. The Bucs are just really, really good. And Indy's going to have to tee off and get pressure on Tom Brady. I'm sorry. Defensively, we run this stupid I'm sorry to say stupid. I actually like the zone scheme, just not against Tom Brady and other quarterbacks that are pocket quarterbacks or veterans who can't scramble. This is not a game where you play that run the defensive ends and try to hold someone in. No. Those front four guys need to pin their ears back every stinking snap and get to Tom Brady. Just get hands on him. I don't care. Yeah. Just pressure him. Make him feel uncomfortable back there. Because the New York Football Giants on Monday, they were not able to do that. And plus, half the time I was sitting there watching them, they weren't even they were standing there with their hands on their hips, just standing there, not even engaged with anyone. Tom's sitting in the pocket. You can't have that. You need to be going full. You got to be going at 110% from whistle to whistle. I mean, from snap to whistle, man. You can't give up on plays. You just can't. Not against Tom Brady.
If Eberflus starts rushing just 2 and 3 guys, then no. This is going to be a totally different conversation. I couldn't believe it. Like you said, it was like dropping. Tom is going to. He's got a little jewelry, if you guys haven't heard, and he's learned in the journeys through those. Better than some of the offensive players on the team.
Well, yeah, absolutely, man. That's why you got to get pressure on him, because just a plain soft zone or a plain zone defense, period, isn't going to work as well. But you can't play man coverage against the kind of weapons they have on this team. You know, Godwin, Antonio Brown, who may or may not play this week, Mike Evans, you know. You got two really good tight ends, and especially Gronk. Gronk has eaten the Colts up a few times since he's played them. I mean, my goodness, he's made some Colts defenders look really stupid at times. Okay, and I don't want to see that happen again this week. We got to get pressure. We got to force Tom to throw the football, either throw it away or throw before something. You know, it's not like
Irsay needs to sit there and, you know, if the weather says it's going to be like in the low 40s, high 30s or whatever, open the roof, man. Just sit there and sit there and make Mike Evans and Tampa Tom and all these guys have to play. And I'm sorry, Colts fans, you know, the excitement hopefully will warm you up because, I mean, give everything, or Mr. Irsay, give every opportunity to your team.
I mean, the fans in the stands won't like it too much, but let's be fair. These guys from Tampa, now, Tom Brady's played in some pretty inclement weather over there in New England, so he knows how to deal with that. But the rest, but guys, the running game, I mean, like, you know, Leonard Fournette hasn't ever been out of Florida, you know, that throughout his career. I mean, when he's played outside, you know, but not from his home team. He went from Jacksonville to Tampa, really? I mean, come on. Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, they've only ever known Florida. They're not used to playing in the outdoors. The Colts are built to play outdoors. Weird. We're a dome team that's built to play outdoors. And if I had tickets to this upcoming game and it was, you know, the forecast was 31 degrees and chance of snow, I would have that damn roof open. And I'd be like, I'm sorry, everybody, please bring your jackets. You know?
I don't know if the snow would be a good thing, but yeah, I was just fine with a good, you know, gust of wind and stuff.
But this, I mean, come on. Who wants to go out there and be physical in the snow or the rain or something like that? Only offensive linemen and running backs like that. You know, Jonathan Taylor loves it. We've already seen what he does in the rain and cold weather. Go look at what happened in San Francisco. Go look what happened in Buffalo. You know, he's a beast when it comes to that kind of stuff.
Oh, I was just gonna sit there and say, you know, and can you imagine? I mean, I know Coach wants to sit there and think, you know, 1-0, one game at a time. But could you imagine this story? I mean, seriously, you beat Tom Brady and the Patriots all in the same year on your trip to the playoffs. I mean, what an amazing opportunity this is.
And get revenge on the Bills all at the same time.
Exactly.
Wow. Now, if you go talk to Patriots fans, the Colts don't stand a chance because they're the hottest team in the NFL. They've won 5 straight, you know, and beat some pretty good teams in the process. But I think the Colts will open some eyes. If they beat Tampa Bay, I think we'll get even a lot more respect than what we got if we beaten the Bills. I really do. I especially if they do it back-to-back weeks. I mean, come on. So.
And we know the Patriots fans can say whatever they want. It doesn't, you know, it matters whenever the, you know, teams get on the field.
Absolutely. And guess what? Not only are we hosting Tampa Bay, but we're hosting New England as well. So, yeah, come on into our house. Come on. Oh, man. Speaking of hosting the Patriots on a Saturday, prime time, baby. That just came out yesterday. Do you remember last week when I said, you know, if the Colts beat the Bills, there's a good chance they'll have a primetime game on Saturday? I said that last week. Wow, I was right. What? Oh, I need a drink. Hold on. Go ahead.
I told my wife, told my kids, and I'm like, okay. Said, you know, because they haven't seen it. Because honestly, for me, I haven't. I am right now, you know, in years, you know what I mean? Honestly, just years, you know. It just seems this year like, you know, I love the fact that I told my wife and kids, I said, December 18th, go visit the in-laws, go get, you know, leave the house. I said, Dad needs it. I told my nephew who likes to come over and watch a lot of football, I said, it's a different fan that day. So don't bring your church clothes. That's for sure.
Yep. Speed Maverick Garage Company at Eagles says, still heard this week that the Colts are still only an average team at best. And I've seen that too by a few different places. And that's what I'm saying, they're saying, well, any given Sunday, any team can beat another team.
And that's fine, because that's the people that haven't paid attention to this team all year long. Those are the people that are sit there and they open up whatever source of media that they choose to just gloss over, and then that's fine. Keep thinking that.
Go look at some national media though, and there are some people out there picking the Colts to beat the Bucks. And,
oh, really?
Yeah, and the Bucks are favored in this game by 3.
3, yeah. So
coming into Indy and favored by 3. And yet there are some people out there that are picking the Indy to win this game because that Indy is kind of on a tear right now, and they're imposing their will on other teams.
And you know why I know the Colts have a real good shot at winning this game? Because there's still going to be that storyline, which well, then the Giants game was just a fluke. Tampa's not as good, and then they can go back to that narrative they were peddling 2 weeks ago about Tampa. It's just like, so it's like the Colts have fun, and the only time the Colts will have a problem is if they don't have a backup story.
Yeah. Well, the Colts are power ranked, I think, 11th, in the NFL
10th.
Right now. 10th?
Yeah, 10th is what I saw.
Speed Maverick says the Bills are still ahead of the Colts in that situation. Well, they still have a better record than the Colts, too. So they deserve to be there, even though they got blown the hell out. It's funny. The Colts have not lost to a team they shouldn't have lost to this year. They've beaten everyone they're supposed to beat. They've lost a few games to teams that, like the Rams and the Ravens, that, and they still had a shot at winning that game. I think this is the opportunity. I sound like a broken record. This is their opportunity. And man, I'm going to break it down more here in 2 days after Thanksgiving. By the way, everybody, I hope y'all have a great Thanksgiving. I will not be on here. I will be on my Discord, which I dropped in the link in the chat. I will be on Discord during the football games. You're welcome to come in and hang out and talk. But yeah, I won't be doing any streams. DeQuell and I will not be recording tomorrow or nothing like that because national holiday. Come on now. You got to give us our national holiday off. But thanks everybody for joining in. It's been about 40 minutes. Appreciate each and every one of you. Ninkowski says that Seahawks game looks bad right now. Well, but it was against a healthy Seahawks, a healthy Russell Wilson. Russell's been dealing with a messed up thumb and everything else. And they're dealing with injuries. So I'm not. When it comes to games, you got to look at situational. And during that situation, it's still a tough loss to swallow, but at the same time, I understand what happens about it.
Yeah, and for me, week 1 games are always sort of that crazy. Especially with the whole COVID and what's going on. And I'm not making excuses, okay? Arguably, we are one of the worst starting teams. We've already talked about that earlier in the show. But my point is I am able to overlook that a little bit, especially like you said. It wasn't like 2 years ago. Now that one I had a lot more trouble getting over.
Yeah. Guys, it's been 40 minutes. I think I'm going to end up jumping off here. Please smash that like button. Hit subscribe if you're not subscribed. Tag that notification bell so that you are notified next time I go live. And make sure you go check out all the links in the description of this video. I appreciate each and every one of you for your support. And until next time, I'm Lawrence Owen. That's Colts Loyalist. And as usual, have a good one.